What's up, guys? Welcome back to Boxing X-Ray. We're gonna dive right into the topic: Spence versus Ugas, who I think is gonna win. Um, Great fight overall. I want to congratulate the two of them for actually putting on a good fight, a very entertaining fight. Looking forward to watching it live. Definitely gonna be one of my favorite fight for 2022. I definitely see Spence actually taking that win. I think Spence just have a little bit more weaponry when it comes to placing his shot. His body shots are a little bit better than Ugas, and he's very precise with his shots. So that's why I think Spence is actually gonna pull this off more than Ugas. However, Ugas can definitely win this fight if he actually apply the pressure, and he's a little bit more precise with his punches. His body punches are not very precise based on the way he boxes, and when he boxes, he kind of lean a little bit forward, and his hands are down to load up his body shot. His body shot doesn't really come, from his chin to the opponent's body. Kind of his body shot actually comes almost from his chest. So he's drop his hands a little bit, then he get his body shots off. Not saying it's not a good way, to actually land a punch. I'm just saying that it's not very a defensive position to land the punches at. And I mean, if Spence is a very tactical fighter. I do see Ugas, trying to throw that punch and Spence capitalize him and actually beat him to the punch and actually get that punch off before Ugas can actually land his body shot. And I feel as if that's where Ugas is gonna have his problems. He's gonna not gonna be able to actually get these precise punches off, and Spence is gonna realize and capitalize on that and actually pretty much start, pick him apart when it comes to, Ugas throwing. He capitalize on the mistake that Ugas made and then actually start landing his shot precisely on the button on where you want to, where you want to place the shot. Now, if Ugas actually sharpen up that skill set and actually move forward in that sense where he actually waited for, Spence to actually throw his punches and then he can capitalize with a, stiff body shot and actually test Spence, body a little bit more and then go up to the head with probably a nice, jab or a straight right hand if he actually can pull that off. However, he got to be quick with it. He can't wait too long, and he got to make sure that every shot he plays on Spence has power in there, just enough to stun him, so he could actually use the bigger shot, place the bigger shot more precisely, and actually get Spence out of there. Now, I think the best punches from Ugas actually is gonna be his jab. I think Ugas has a pretty underrated jab. His jab is good. However, he needs to, start leaning forward. But he has a pretty precise jab, and I feel as if that's gonna be the biggest thing for Spence to overcome is Ugas' jab. And if Spence can overcome his jab and actually step forward and work from the inside, I don't see Ugas using his footwork to get out of there. So it's gonna be a battle where they're going tick for tack, basically. Who gonna have the better power shot? So they look out for that fight to be a lot of loading up, and not really much throwing to land points. They're gonna be loading up to brawl. So it's gonna be a war in there. I do have Spence having the edge over Ugas just based on how precise Spence's shots are. Spence don't really waste a lot of punches, and they're heavy. That's one thing with a fighter like a pressure fighter. They're both pressure fighters. Ugas is a pressure fighter. Spence is a pressure fighter. But one of the thing with Spence is he doesn't waste a lot of his power shots, and anytime he does load up, they're precise. He's not missing them. So that's what makes him scary. On the other hand, Ugas body shots are relentless. So look out for Ugas going, two, three body shots just to, shake up Spence. And that's basically how he fight. He throw a lot of punches to the body. They don't have, immense power on them, but they're just enough to shake you up. And if he can actually land those shot and then, come up top with a stronger punch or a much more heavier punch, could get Spence out of there. But I think that's the problem for Ugas, where he got to overcome that part of it where he getting a little bit more precise with his punches, And if he's precise enough, he can definitely get Spence out of there. But Spence pressure and his durability is just probably too much for Ugas, man. And I'm not over exaggerating. A durable fighter that has power is really, really a lot to deal with in the ring. Let's say you're fighting somebody and they can take your punch, and even though you pretty punch them like two times, they can take your punch and walk through it, and then hammer away on you with one punch, and you feel it through your bones. Your body is willing to no your mind is willing to still fight, but the body is gonna actually second guess. And that's one of the things, you stepping forward, you're telling the body to stepping forward, and the body started second guess, like, I'm not gonna take that punch. So you're trying to get out there and fire your right hand, but instead of going all out, straighten up and lean forward to get your right hand off, it's almost as if you're scared to fully extend that punch. If you guys get what I'm saying, because now your body is saying, if I fully extend and I miss, I'm gonna take a big shot to the body. And once your mind and your body start losing its ground, where it's not communicating properly, that's where you start to lose a fight, in my opinion, just based on being in the ring as a amateur fighter. I just see that happening to Ugas, maybe in the mid rounds. Spence shots start to get to him a bit, and he's gonna second guess a little bit more, and then Spence can start breaking him down. Spence durability is very, very good, and I think that's where his best shining is durability. Tough dude, and if you can take a right hand from Danny Garcia and still walk like ain't nothing happened to you, I don't see how like your durability is underrated. Spence also have basics boxing footwork, which is the fundamental of boxing. So I don't see why people say he doesn't have footwork. He has great footwork. The fundamental, if you have the fundamental footwork of boxing, you basically got high level boxing footwork. People don't even understand it. So I think Spence has great footwork, and he can get in and out of Ugas range if he apply those boxing footwork and techniques that he has shown in the past. Now, Ugas, his speed, if he steps up in speed and power and precision, it's gonna be a rough night in there for Spence. And I'm looking forward to seeing him, putting a little bit more speed out there and actually try to get Spence out of there with these fast shots that he has. However, he has to have immense power behind him because, like I said, his durability, Spence durability is on par. It's unmatched. Sorry, it's unmatched. And I don't see anybody in the welterweight division that has that durability like Errol Spence. Honestly, I mean, Crawford got a good durability as well. Don't get me wrong. Sorry for putting him in there, but that durability from Spence, man, is different. Trust me, it's different. You can even see it in his physiques as well. Not saying Crawford don't got great physique. Not saying Ugas don't got great physique. Spence physique is definitely a little bit better in my opinion, just based on his muscle structure and his muscle mass. Now, I just see Spence as the victor in that fight, and it would actually be a better build up to have him as the winner on the business end as well. To have him as a winner because now you still have the promoters in your pocket. So if it goes the distance as well, even if it's a close fight, they're still gonna give it to Errol Spence, and that's how I see it. And I just think Errol Spence is gonna win that fight. My prediction could be wrong, but based on how I studied the videos, look at how each of them fight, Spence just have a little bit more weaponry in his arsenal, and he doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. If he had made a lot of mistake, well, I could have went with Ugas. Ugas actually make a little bit more mistakes than Spence, in my opinion. So I have the win, the victor as Errol Spence that night. Do I think it's gonna be a knockout or a stoppage for Errol Spence? It possibly could be a stoppage, only if Ugas is burn himself out. So if Ugas actually come there to fight and he can actually, his cardio cannot keep up with the amount of punch he's actually throwing per round, and he's burning himself out, Spence is gonna pretty much stop him. If Ugas is actually playing it smart and he's actually boxing, he actually bribed Errol Spence into boxing with him. He might can survive the whole fight without actually getting us, Spence getting a stoppage. But I would think that the best thing to do is actually box with Errol Spence and actually use big shots to keep him off of you. And if he can actually do that the whole fight, the whole night, he pretty much got a W in his pocket as well. So that's how I see it. But however, I think Spence is just gonna take that fight from him, just based on how I know Ugas is. He's the type of fighter to actually, will is willing to brawl with you, and that's what Spence wants. So we'll see how it goes. That's my prediction on it. I hope you guys like it, and I'm gonna keep trying to drop more content as much as I can. Y'all have a good one, man, and y'all be safe. Peace.